bought a Tri-Z. And that's kind of where things started picking up a little bit, that I really liked the motorsports side of it. I raced Snocross for quite a few years until about the last three years of me racing. My body said, you're done. We probably could have got a little bit more help in the Snocross world, maybe. All the manufacturers are there. Know a lot of people yet. We still do a lot of business with players. But I was just done with the cold, and I work in it, and I was just over it. So I like four-wheelers, Max Lindquist, a couple different kids always said that we should go down to the Nationals. There's Nationals at Sunset Ridge. So we're like, oh, let's go down there. So we actually went down and watched, and there's 3, 4, 5 kids that would race at Gravity Park that were there. And Jayden's like, well, Dad, I'm faster than him. And I'm like, well, that kid did pretty good.
Yeah.
And that's next year we went to Sunset to race. We're a full line steel service center, metal service center, selling all metal products, angles, beams, channel, tubing, you name it, sheet plate. And then do a little bit of fabricating, saw cut to length. I have somebody like Leon or Doug Schultz to be Jayden's person to talk to. Can't come from Dad.
No, it can never come from Dad.
So
it doesn't matter.
No matter if it's right or wrong. And I was there too when I was growing up. When I was that kid that always looked at those semis parked over to the right, and I always thought, oh, that must be nice. Well, little did I know that kid's dad probably worked his ass off to get to that point.
Right. Hey everybody, this is Leon with Four Wheel Frenzy, and we are back again with another episode. And today I have with me Jereme Londerville, and the Londerville name probably sounds pretty familiar to any ATV racing fans, but I don't have Jayden with me today. I've got the next best, right?
Well, maybe.
Jereme, before we get started, tell us a little bit, who are you? And, what do you do in or for the ATV racing community?
Well, Jereme Londerville, Jayden Londerville's dad. For racing wise, what I do, I just help support Jayden with his racing career to help him go as far as he can, as far as he wants to. And throughout the years, I've been fortunate enough to help different people and work with different people and be a part of different race teams, I guess. So yeah, that's kind of it.
kind of always been one of the people behind the scenes, essentially.
Yeah, 100%.
And obviously, I know the answer to this as well, but you are, when it comes down to it, you are probably the most important part of 4130 Motorsports. You are the team owner of 4130 Motorsports. Correct. And obviously is the team that Jayden, your son, rides for, and I work for.
Yep.
But, obviously, we'll get into how you got into ATV racing specifically here in a minute, but you have a history with motorsports kind of as a whole that's outside of ATV racing.
Yep.
So what brings you into motorsports and racing as a whole?
So I always liked riding something, not to say racing wise, but that's where it kind of led to being early on, having I think it was a ATC 200, 1983, I think it was. My dad bought for us. Started with that, and then I was about a freshman in high school, 8th grade, somewhere around there, I bought a Tri-Z. And that's kind of where things started picking up a little bit, that I really liked the motorsports side of it. And then went from there to just buying different ones that I could afford throughout the years. They're all junk, but did what we could do with them. And they're definitely junk after I was done with them.
Right,
for sure.
right. Well, so it makes sense then.
But then, I got into snowmobile racing because we're central northern Wisconsin. So I raced Snocross for quite a few years until about the last three years of me racing. My body said, "You're done," but I kept on trying to push it with quite a few different broken bones and stuff like that. But it was fun. Just the cold got really old. We work in it, we live in it, and then you go try to race in it. And back then, I went to all the races with my snowmobile in the back of my pickup truck. And I might have had one friend or two friends might have came to a race that helped you and made it through, and you just sacrificed. And then it was about the last 3 years that I raced before I actually had a trailer and I actually had heat.
Yeah.
So that was kind of nice.
Yeah, I bet you got spoiled at the end.
But unfortunately, my body was done.
Yeah, yeah.
So,
and I mean, first of all, you made it pretty far when it comes to the rankings of snowmobile racing too.
Yeah. Well, semi-pro is what I did. But
so essentially, in terms of ATV racing, you pro-am.
Pro-am, yeah.
Pro Sport Pro-am.
Yep.
Definitely. So you were kind of that last step up before you really got into the big dogs.
Yeah. Yep,
which is obviously a lot further than what most people make it to in any form of racing.
Yep.
And there was kind of a, I don't want to say season, because it was more of a career-ending mishap, correct?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, well, there was a couple of them, but yeah.
What was the last one, though?
The last one, yeah, actually, I had so many different get-offs and big crashes to having a good year to not having. And it's been so long. 2001 was the last year we raced, so that's a long time ago.
Yeah.
I almost don't even remember 90% of it anymore, you know. But I took a pretty big hit the last time, and I actually crashed and I went flying, kind of somersaulting through, and I saw this big huge light pole that I went flying past, and actually I missed it probably by about 6 inches. Otherwise that would have stopped me.
Yeah.
Then things would have
been
a lot really
worse.
bad. So I figured I'd take off. I think there was maybe 1 or 2 races left roughly at that time. And next year I just never came back.
Yeah, sometimes it happens.
I was done.
Yeah. Now, you did race against some big names, well, what became big names in the snowmobile world. Yep. And I mean, we could always just blame it on one of those guys taking you out. Ended everything.
Well, So we raced in New Richmond, Wisconsin, and there was this young kid coming up. It was Tucker Hibbert, which ended up racing. So we ended up hitting in one corner. I flew off. He made it through, and I dislocated my shoulder. That was one of many times. but yeah, so that's my fame, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, you raced against somebody who eventually kind of became the Ricky Carmichael of snowmobile racing.
Yeah, actually, I think he had 100 or 200 wins.
That's
when
insane.
he retired. At the pro level.
Right, and then went and raced pro dirt bikes for a little while.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah. So.
And obviously, you've left the snowmobile racing. However, it gives you daily reminders that it existed.
Oh, yeah.
I know you had a pretty big surgery. It was, a couple years ago now with the
2
shoulder?
2 years ago. Yeah, right shoulder. Complete new shoulder, joint socket, the whole 9 yards. But, yeah. Yep, so, it was probably all of, 2001 I quit. So I think it was about 10 years, 10, 11 years before got Jayden into any kind of riding.
Mm-hmm.
He was about 3 years old. Got him one of these little electric ride-on ones and riding around on blacktop at the business and sliding around, and then got one of these little Chinese things, because I couldn't see spending all this money on a $2,500 Suzuki or one of the little machines that they had at that time, or actually it was Apex that were, I think they were like 2,500, maybe 3,000 at that time, and well, we're way past that now.
You bought an Apex, and that just snowballed into everything.
Yeah.
Multiple YFZs and a race team. And so, obviously, you as the dad of a racer, you saw him kind of goofing around in the yard, on the driveway, stuff like that.
Yep.
What was it, your racing history that made you decide, hey, let's take him and see what happens?
Yeah, pretty much. We probably could have, well, hard to say. I was going to say we probably could have got a little bit more help in the Snocross world, maybe. All the manufacturers are there. Know a lot of people yet. So we still do a lot of business with players.
Yeah.
But on the business side of things. But I was just done with the cold, and I work in it, and I was just over it. So I like four-wheelers. Always rode. Had a lot of fun. So there's Gravity Park was about 2 3/4 hours away from us. Only place in Wisconsin that below 16 or younger than 16 that a youth could ride, because so we started going there. I think he was 5. His first race was actually on a little snowmobile. It was a drag race, a little 120 snowmobile, and I couldn't sleep the night before. I was so excited. Whatever, we go there, and he was the slowest kid there. So I was like, well, we got to do some work on the machine and him. But no, and then we started going to Gravity Park, and then it was like 16, 19 Fridays in a row.
Yeah.
To run for this little championship deal, whatever.
Big trophies, though.
Yeah,
at that
big trophies. Yeah, bigger than what he was.
Yeah,
almost as tall as he is now. But so we did that for 2 or 3 years probably, and then a couple guys, Max Lindquist, a couple different kids. Always said that we should go down to the nationals. There's nationals at Sunset Ridge, so we're like, oh, let's go down there. So we actually went down and watched, and there's 3, 4, 5 kids that would race at Gravity Park that were there, and Jayden's like, well, Dad, I'm faster than him. And I'm like, well, that kid did pretty good.
Yeah.
And that's next year we went to Sunset to race, and then Redbud did those two, and then I think that was in 12 or 13. Somewhere around there, I believe it was. And then the next year we did maybe 5 races, and then after that we did the whole season ever since.
Because I think 2014, we've talked about this before, I think 14 was your first full season.
Yeah. It was whatever year that Jeremy Osborne had his first race.
That was in 2014.
14. That was our first full year.
Because your first race that year was my first national race as a carny. And it's kind of funny how that all works out. But I mean, it's crazy too. Just seeing that just bought a quad, did that, tried the local series, and I guess it seems like that's how it always works out. Like you'll see someone that you race against at the local or the grassroots level, And you're like, I beat him all the time, and he did, top 5. We need to go do that so I can go win. And here we are, 11 years later,
and change.
Yeah,
for sure.
11 years of full series.
Yeah,
it's crazy. And obviously, you as the dad, you've seen a lot of highs, a lot of lows, and I mean, either there's a lot of dedication or a lot of stupidity. I don't know. I haven't figured it out. Maybe you have, but you keep coming back every year.
Right.
Have
not figured it out. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Because we keep coming back.
Mm-hmm.
So, over the years, unfortunately, this sport has a lot of obstacles that you're probably going to get hurt sometime.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And just hopefully they're not too bad. So in Jayden's case, he's had some pretty good ones over the years, and it's getting hard. To keep coming back because of that stuff. So that's getting definitely hard. And so we'll just have to see, where things fall.
Absolutely.
From here on out.
For sure. And I mean, as the dad that has seen that, what brings you back? Because, obviously he's had many injuries, and obviously you hate seeing your child hurt or, upset at all. Is it him that brings you back in, or is it you? Do you see something, or is it his drive?
Well, I think it's all of it, really.
Mm-hmm.
I know for a fact I'm his biggest fan. So I just love watching him ride and race, and I know what he can do and what he's still got in his pocket yet. Unfortunately, he didn't, on his end, get a good time to showcase everything just this year going pro. It's tricky though, because it's there are those big ones that you just never know.
Right.
So it's climbing through the ranks, going through, winning races, championships. That's all great, and that's what drives you and keeps you. But it's all the people, all the friends that you meet throughout the whole country that they're your lifelong friends now. It's crazy how it goes.
Right.
So the drive to the races gets pretty old. that's getting like almost too old. But with his injuries and stuff that he's got going on right now, so we don't really know what the future holds yet.
Yeah, and I mean that's a big thing too, is obviously we're recording right now, the 2025 season is over, and Jayden did have a crash that hurt him pretty good. I mean he's pretty banged up, his foot's not in the best of shape, but I mean, and that's the big thing too. You've always stood behind him on all this stuff, and obviously his dedication to the sport has been really high as well. And his drive is, I mean, he's a very motivated person. And he's essentially bedridden right now. He can't walk. He can't really do much. Can't really do much movement because it hurts. And every time you talk to him, I want to ride so bad.
He's about 5.5 weeks in right now. So week and a half from now we go. He had his second surgery week and a half ago, 2 weeks ago actually today. 2 weeks ago today had his second surgery. They said everything went really good. It was about a 4.5, almost 5 hour surgery on a foot that was shattered. So we were starting to get a little worried because it was supposed to be a 2.5 hour surgery. It turned into almost 5 hour surgery, but they're pretty satisfied with everything. But we still don't know what his foot's going to do for him, what it's going to let him do. But with all the racing stuff, it's bigger than that because it's a family sport and it's hard. So our family has to suffer through it. To my wife, my daughters, they see it. My wife takes care of them all the time, so very hard on her.
Right.
So we just really got to see where it all falls in place.
Right.
So,
absolutely. And, only time will tell what happens here.
Yeah.
But, and I guess that's a big thing too, is, going back to how, what brings you back and everything like that has to be, obviously you were there, you've been there for every single one, correct?
Pretty much. I think I missed maybe one or two races.
Okay. Well, I mean, like for any injuries that he's had, like you've always, like I know the last time that he got banged up, it was just you and him at a practice track. And I mean, is going back to his drive and everything like that is that what keeps you from pulling the plug right then and there?
Well, yeah, 100%. I mean, there's that. There's what could he still do? What does he still have to offer? But you do have to stop and think like, all right, this is life, and how do you want your life afterwards?
Right.
And with him racing, we have a business that I want him and his middle sister to take over down the road. And he needs to be healthy for that.
Yeah.
You can't be, so yeah, so it's tricky.
Yeah, no. And I guess that's the next thing to get into as well is, you do have a business, Londerville Steel.
Yep.
Obviously a lot of people have probably seen that name because of a lot of things that you do with not even just our sport, but there's Londerville Steel signs all over the place within the motorsports community.
Yep, correct.
What exactly is Londerville Steel?
So we're a full line steel service center, metal service center, selling all metal products, angles, beams, channel, tubing, you name it, sheet plate. And then do a little bit of fabricating, saw cut to length, custom cut stuff for customers. On the fabricating side, we have a huge plasma table. It's basically 10-foot wide by 30-foot long that we can cut up to oxyfuel. We can cut up to 12 inches thick. It's set table-wise 6 inches thick is what we can do right off the bat. But then the oxyfuel, we could go up to 3 inches thick on that. Or I'm sorry, the plasma rather. Okay. And then we're just in a couple weeks here, we're starting on a 17,000 square foot new addition office, and then put in 2 big pieces of equipment, some Amada equipment, a big press brake, fiber laser table. That's going to help us get to a new level, new customer base, better product, better service, faster lead times, in-house bedding versus subbing it out 2 weeks later. We can turn it around in a couple days. So, yeah.
And I mean, and that's obviously something huge because you're supplying to all sorts of different clients throughout the country, and essentially, that stuff is needed throughout the entire world. Yep. You're going to construction companies and all this different stuff, but you're also, and I mean, you've supplied material for some very niche things, like those trolleys. Yep. And a lot of very unique projects, but material coming from your facility is used in a lot of different ATV products as well. Yep.
So we sell chromoly tubing, so it'd be your swing arms, your A-arms, that kind of material. On a hybrid, it'd be your frame, whatever case would be chromoly tubing. So On the ATV side of it, that's a real small portion that we sell that to, like the off-road truck world. Johnny Greaves, CJ Greaves, you name it. All of the big guys, we sell to all those guys. And then kind of like a niche thing, one kind of a cool thing that we just did this summer, we have a customer that we do quite a bit of work with. So we supplied all the material for him, and it actually went to NASA for one of the launch stations that he was working on, which was cool. Which was pretty cool.
Yeah,
so
yeah, that's awesome. And it's just something that, outside of motorsports, NASA is massive.
Yeah.
So knowing that your product is just in something period through them, I mean, that's really cool. And obviously you've put a lot of your time into it throughout your life.
Oh yeah.
Starting as a kid even.
Oh yeah.
And now you're running the business. Yep. Like you said, you want Jayden and his sister to take it over as well. And just it'd be really cool to see it as a long line family business, of course, and hopefully it keeps on growing as well.
Yeah, we're definitely investing in it. So for them, if I wanted to get out, I wouldn't have did this.
Yeah.
Because this is going to put me back a little bit.
Right.
But no. Yeah, so.
Yeah. And I mean, anybody that has purchased, you've got many brands that are buying material from you. It's not one or two. There's a lot of them that are.
Yeah.
And, obviously a lot of people probably don't really know that they are supporting you and your business.
Right.
But in return, Londerville Steel has really supported the ATV racing community as well.
Yep.
Like I said, if there's a lot of races that if you see, special thanks to sections and stuff like that, Londerville Steel is usually in that listing.
Yeah.
You do give back to the community quite a bit, besides biting your teeth at times, your tongue at times, and allowing JJ to keep lining up on the gate. So I mean, and that's one of the reasons why I wanted you on as well, is because you do, again, you're in the shadows, but you do a lot for the support for the sport. Yeah. You are supporting the sport.
Yep. Yeah, we help a fair amount of people, and it definitely gets harder and harder every year because prices for everybody goes up.
Right.
And, so that does make it a little harder. And as you climb the ranks, the people that you help are your competitors too now, which is all fine. But I love all these guys and people, and you want to what you can, but you are pulled a lot of different directions. And outside of the ATV world, we have different motorsports, the trucks, the dirt late models, and we help out different people through those series too. Yep. So it gets hard because you get to be friends with these people, and it's hard to say no, but you have to pull back a little bit.
Right. Yeah, you can't support literally everybody out there.
No. And so, and there's a few of them that we do help out that we don't want no recognition or whatever, just they need that extra little help. And if I could at that particular time, I would. And, I just think I'm fortunate where I am right now, that I could help somebody out, because I wish I would have had that when I was growing up.
Right.
So.
Yeah. And I mean, you got one rider out there that has a full ride.
Yeah.
And obviously that is who you've really put your time and effort into, but at the same time, you're kind of spreading it out, and you are supporting a lot of different people, which is really cool, because like you said, some of those people are direct competitors.
Right.
But and obviously it's led to you becoming a team owner as well. What kind of brought on the 4130 Motorsports? Kind of the history of that. Well,
where it really started was, I think it was 2016, really. Johnny and CJ Greaves, they were getting rid of one of their the side-by-sides came into the off-road truck world. And CJ won everything all that year, and we do a lot of business back and forth with those guys. And they're pushing me to buy their vehicle, and ended up buying it for the future for Jayden to race a year or two yet in the ATV world. And then probably jump into that and go into the truck world, whatever, at that time. And so we started the 4130 Motorsports team at that time because our chromoly tubing, it's 4130 chromoly. So we kind of just took that name versus just my last name or Jayden's name, whatever. We built a race team really off of that. And then we did a couple things in that, and we wanted to keep pushing, try to get Jayden to get a championship. He was on a 90 at that time. Get a championship. He really wanted a championship, and that didn't happen. And then we just kept pushing it, and it wasn't until he 2020 was on the 250s. He's this big tall kid, so little smaller bikes just didn't work for him. He was good, but it wasn't until he got on to the bigger bikes that he started showcasing what he had and what he could do. And so then the side-by-side thing just got pushed to the side, and pretty much right now we only bring it out.
It comes out a couple times a year.
Yeah, whatever. But every time he's driving it, he's breaking or ripping a wheel off or something.
Yep.
So...
yeah, I feel like the side by side, especially that one, is almost a little bit better suited for Lily, your daughter.
Yeah, yes, yeah,
and she seems to enjoy it a lot.
She loves it.
Yeah.
So
she's got her own even.
Yep.
Yeah. And so obviously it started there, and obviously JJ was part of the Phoenix racing team for a while.
Yep.
And in
I think it was like 4 or 5 years.
Yeah, because he
was 12 years old. So when we were with Phoenix, I think he was 12 the first.
He was on a 90 mod, correct?
Yeah, 12, 13, we went out to Las Vegas because he broke his arm when he was 12, and we're in Vegas. He turned 13 in Vegas. So I figured what better place to take a young boy to turn into a teenager was Vegas. But we went there for the Monster Million. So
yeah, and then that's when because he broke his arm in 17, I believe, because that was when we ran that Wisconsin series.
Yep. He did then too.
yeah.
And then 19 I'm sorry, 21 he did it
21
really good.
Is when he really jacked it up.
And then just 5 weeks ago did a good number. So
good run on the leg or on the foot. Yeah. So I mean it's obviously we talked about that and what continues on with that, but with being a team owner too, like obviously there's stresses that come along with that. Yeah. And being a business owner, having the, obviously racing is always a family thing, but your number one rider is literally your family. Yeah. So there's a lot of, it's not only stress because you're doing all this, but there's a lot more stress because there's a lot of emotions on the line for you.
Yeah.
What to anybody that might be trying to do this kind of stuff, what are your keys to success or your suggestions for them?
It's definitely hard to turn off the dad hat.
Yeah.
Put the team owner hat on, I guess you would call it, to whatever. What I really found out was you gotta have somebody like Leon or Doug Schultz to be Jayden's person to talk to. Can't come from dad.
No, it can never come from dad. So that doesn't matter.
No matter if it's right or wrong. And I was there too when I was growing up, whatever. But Jayden loves both those guys, and they get along great. All of them do. So that really helped out. But there is, you do have your ups and downs, and as you climb those ladders, it is a little harder to keep everything fun. Yeah. Which sad to say, but it does happen.
Mm-hmm.
So, but you have to keep it fun. And I've always told Jayden from the beginning that as long as that we're having fun, I can afford it, and you're competitive, and you're safe, we'll keep doing it. Mm-hmm. Well, not sure if I can afford it. And he hasn't been safe. So we got 2 strikes against us.
2 strikes. He says he's having fun.
Yeah. So I'm not sure myself yet.
Yeah.
But
yeah. No, it's, like I said, there's a lot of stress, especially for you, because you are the team owner, you're also the dad. So it has to be hard at times to carry on and to keep doing it. And I know we've had conversations. It has been hard.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, like you said, it's this ATV racing is just a giant family.
Yeah.
And, the people that are involved with it, there's a lot of great people. And I feel like there's been a few times where it's those people that have brought us back.
Oh, yeah.
From time to time.
Oh, for
and,
sure.
Even with JJ, obviously I don't think it's much of a secret where there was a point where he about hung it up.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And, it just took it was a bad season of him kind of disliking all of us at times.
Yep.
And then it just happened to kind of click as soon as the season ended, and he got to have fun again and hang out with the people he wanted to hang out with, and it came back, and he ended up getting a championship the next year.
Yep, for sure. So
it happens to everybody, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah, he's very driven that way. Mm-hmm. But we'll definitely got to see what's in his head going forward.
Right. Yeah, it's kind of like a race car driver that's had a bad accident. You don't really, they can say everything they want, and obviously JJ is, some of the things that he does with his size, it's like how are you making this work
right
to begin with?
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see what kind of miracles he can do, and obviously he's a great athlete. He's in really good shape.
Yeah.
And he tries really hard at being the best that he can.
Yeah.
So I think though it's whatever he kind of puts his mind towards is how, and I see the way he talks now, I see him taking it serious.
Oh, yeah.
And as long as he takes it serious, I think he can perform wonders yet again.
Yeah.
So it's all up to him right now, I guess.
Yep, 100%. I'm leaving it to him and kind of letting it go that route. And so I'm just just myself. I don't want to see any more big crashes because it's like over that. So.
Yeah, and I mean this year it really didn't help you either, because we had 2 races. First race he did better than any of us thought. We were all super happy. Next race he just didn't really have it, and a couple days before that he wasn't feeling all the best either.
Correct.
Had a few iffy bathroom trips and stuff like that. But and then the third race in the season, he hyperextends his knee. Well, right there, it's kind of took the wind out of our sails a little bit. Tried to push on. Didn't help in the next race.
No.
And then we had a little bit of a break. Comes back
too early.
Has a get off that and the knee may have had a little bit of a play, but obviously it just kind of came down to shit happens in that one. Knocks himself out. Pretty good. And
very good.
And obviously, so like I said, this year sucked. We had a few mishaps that added up, and obviously this last one, it took out 3 pro riders. In the same day. Bryce got pretty lucky with how his crash went. Wesley is also on a long road to recovery as well. And Obviously when he's ready to tell more about it, he will. But, I've had some really good conversations with him, and, even he has said, he goes, I feel like JJ got the worst of it. Mm-hmm. When you look at paper, Wesley's is the worst.
Yeah, it was crazy. I was at the hospital. Wesley was two floors above us in the trauma center, and this is the Monday.
2 days after.
2 days after, Leon was down. Myself. Oh no, it was Jackson's.
Oh, so that was on Sunday then.
Yeah. Yep. So we went up there. Oh yeah, you and me went up there.
Yeah, we went up on Monday.
So Wesley. Monday we went up there, Jackson's family, and talked to Wesley for a while, and then Jackson's came and saw Jayden, which was really cool. That was awesome. And then I went up there the next day, and he was gone already. And I was like, what the heck? And we're there 4 more days.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's like crazy.
Yeah.
So Jayden ended up being in the hospital for 11 days, actually. So
11 days, and really nothing got done.
Nothing.
He just sat there in agonizing pain.
Yeah.
With a foot that's all mangled.
Yeah. So there's a long road ahead. We'll see what happens.
Yeah. Yeah. No. So and it's going to be a long road. Yeah. We know this, and obviously we just gotta to push on and keep doing what we do, and obviously JJ will make the final decision.
Yep, for sure.
And on what happens. But obviously as someone that has been around ATV racing now for quite a while, you've been around racing as a whole for even longer. And obviously the snowmobile stuff has been a long time ago, and that I know a good amount of that racing has kind of changed since last time you raced.
Oh yeah.
But what is something that you would like to see towards the future of ATV racing?
Well, we need more Jeremy Osbornes. Yeah. Honestly, and Jeremy can't do it all. He's doing way too much the way it is.
He does a lot.
For what he gets out of it. And so, but we need the promoters have to be like him. And it still blows my mind that it's your business, that you don't want to advertise that you have a sale that day, which makes no sense, because if we didn't advertise, we wouldn't get business.
Right.
So I have to. So with that being said, we need more of that. I think there could be go to these races. Maybe it's on a Friday afternoon. We get all of the pros together. You go down to one of the local motorsports places. They welcome you in. It's a big show for them. You got all the top pros from the world, basically, that are there. Maybe you take one rig there, set up a rig.
Yeah.
You just got to get the information out there. That, there's nothing you see on different videos that we post and this and that, and different people say, oh, they still race four-wheelers?
Right.
And, so if there's some of the common people don't even know, so there's a lot of things, but it's a costly sport. Yeah. So.
Yeah. And it's going to take a lot for it to grow. And for somebody like myself, I would like to see more people like you. When you think of ATV racing, it's not a cheap sport. It doesn't matter who you are. It's not cheap. You need to be living decently. Right. To do a full season and, do all this other stuff. But it seems like there are a lot of people that could afford to do more that don't really do anything.
Sure.
And then here's you that, you have a when you look in the pro pits, you have one of the larger teams. Yeah. Obviously we only got one rider.
Sure.
But, nice setup. You give me a nice workspace. I'll give you that. And you do a lot, like I said, you've done a lot when it comes to supporting people, series, events within the sport.
Oh, yeah.
I think we need some of these other people to step up and do a lot of what you do.
Well, and just to go back on the rig thing, our setup at the races, I didn't have any of that growing up when I raced, whatever. And I was that kid that always looked at those semis parked over to the right and I always thought, oh, that must be nice. Well, little did I know that kid's dad probably worked his ass off to get to that point.
Right.
Well, I worked my ass off to get to this point.
Right.
So,
well, you're not thinking about that when you're fighting frostbite and stuff either.
Right. So that's why I always wanted a nice professional look. Mm-hmm. And then with David Eller on the Phoenix team, just always wanted to elevate that, have a good, so you look good, professional.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And then obviously that also comes down to the riders too,
right.
which I know you have to remind quite a bit,
yes.
Looking professional, wearing, clothing or gear that represents the brands that help you, that represents the teams that you're on.
Yep. All your partners. And then everybody in the sport, we're guilty of it. Mm-hmm. We need to, the people that help you, your sponsors, all of that, we have to showcase them more than what we do. Mm-hmm. A couple posts here and there on a video, that doesn't cut it. Mm-hmm. I mean, we do our business. We sponsor a lot of people.
Yeah.
So I see it on both ends, and I don't like it, to a certain degree. Like, you give this person whatever, and all of a sudden at the end of the year, you got this one little post.
Yeah.
It's like,
you get a quick little thank
30 different people.
Yeah.
Which I get it, because we fall into that same category. So.
Yeah. And I mean, that's just it too, is, you as the business owner that has supported a lot of different people, you're essentially paying somebody to advertise for you.
Correct.
And them giving a quick little, tagged Londerville Steel and the end of the year post or whatever. Well, who even saw that?
Right.
There's a lot of different things that our sport needs to learn from other motorsports.
Right.
Especially in the car world. And I know you watch a lot of car racing as well.
Yeah.
But in the car world, these drivers are doing a lot. These teams are doing a lot to make sure, and it's those sponsorships or partnerships are also set up quite a bit differently than how we're kind of living in the past when it comes to that stuff.
Yeah.
But obviously there'll be a lot of different things coming up, hopefully, to try to inform people about that. And you've lived it. You're on the other side of things now, and trying to do the best you can for the next generation. And it also comes down to you're running around and you are the face of different names when you're out there.
Yep.
You're putting out a professional, come race day, come race weekend, you're always wearing a 4130 or a Londerville Steel something.
Yep.
Saturday you've got the team polo on, I've got the team polo on, we're representing the best we can. If we want these brands to look at us, we need to look professional.
Right.
And we need to, we can't, as a pro class or as a pro series, we can't be looking like a entry-level grassroots series.
One thing too is the series. The series, from what I see from a bystander, doesn't do a whole lot. When we first got into it, there was a lot of banners to, you name it, around the track, to everything. So when you're a spectator or just a neighbor that didn't even know a race was going on, and then you walked in, you knew a race was going on because all this banner, these flags, this and that. You walk into ours now, there's nothing.
Nothing. Yeah.
It's like, all right, is this a race or what's going on? Or, so it's kind of different, just,
Yeah, and I mean, hopefully we can get some people to step up and start getting some love in our sport.
For sure.
I know they all claim that we don't make enough or anything like that, but it's hard to, also comes back to the promoters of the races. If you have one promoter that's doing their job and their race always looks amazing every year, there's a reason why this one promoter, Jeremy Osborne, can have a one-off event every year and do something different. He's not reaching in and just taking a giant loss, getting all these legends together, getting these international people together, stuff like that. Yeah. But Jeremy, I know we've taken up a good amount of your time, and I know you got a nice little drive after this.
Yeah, it's just about 4 o'clock, and I flew out here this morning at 5:30. So
and you got a 10-hour drive ahead of you. But real quick, if there was somebody that was just getting into, just got a 4-wheeler, decide they want to, start racing it, and you hear them, what would your advice be to that person that wants to start ATV racing?
Call Leon. Honestly, there isn't anybody in this world that's more passionate about it than he is. So
I appreciate that.
And we're very lucky to have him on our side.
Yeah.
So honestly, that's you got to find somebody that knows something about it, someone that's going to lead you in the right way. Because in the beginning, we didn't have all of that. But you get through all of that. So, you just got to find somebody that's trustworthy of that. In the ATV world, 90% of the people are. So, you're good there. But just get a hold of Leon.
Yeah, there we go. I appreciate that. I appreciate that.
You bet.
And I guess that's a big thing, too, is, like I said before, this is a big family. But, I've been working with you and JJ now since 2020. I met you guys in 2019 officially.
Yep.
Talked a couple times, and obviously it rolled into what it is. But it's the racing community is a family. But you and Jayden have become family. Yeah. Not just to me, but to my family as well. Yep. Jayden was in my wedding. Obviously, you were at my wedding.
Yeah.
But JJ was one of my groomsmen, and he is more than anything else. And sometimes he seems like he could be my child, but most of the time he is like a brother. Yeah. And, just like you're like a brother to me, or you're a little bit of an age gap, but I guess I got an age gap on JJ too. But, at the end of the day, you become close to the people you're with. Right. And I think that's how this has worked for as long as it has, is because it is. And, Doug's the same way, Obviously, Doug and I have had a pretty long working history together, but Doug's family. Yeah. He's a great friend of ours, and he's I don't know if he's that uncle at Thanksgiving sometimes, but
just got to make sure you have some Coors
and some cigarettes. He'll make a shock out of it too. But where obviously you've got a few different names to support as well, but where can people find you online? And I would not necessarily just you, but all the brands that are associated with you.
Yeah, so Londerville Steel would be our main one. 4130 Motorsports, Jayden Londerville Racing, JJ Londerville, Leon.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's because I believe it's at 4130 Motorsports on Facebook and Instagram. Yep. Londerville Steel's on both of those as well.
Correct.
And then JJ is, I think it's either some version of Londerville 3 on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. Yeah. You got to find JJ on TikTok because it's actually pretty funny.
Is it?
He does good at the TikTok. Yeah. And then obviously, the Jayden Londerville Racing as well. Yeah. But I guess, is there anyone else that I may have forgot to bring up that you need to give a shout out to before we go?
Yeah, actually, Alex and the boys, RP, Richard, Mark Baldwin Motorsports, JB.
Binky's been a big part this year too.
Heck yeah. Binky definitely. Binky's a great person, great people for sure. Put me on the spot. I should know this stuff. We got Hinsent, and we got the guys at Forworks.
Forworks, Bornings.
Chris Borning. Actually, Chris, he's ordering a bunch of material. He's making Nerf bars and all that stuff. He was going to actually send his wife out, I think, yesterday or today.
I think it was today.
Grab a bunch of stuff. He's 4 hours for me, so...
DBR.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. Pretty much everybody that helped us throughout the years. I know Jayden loves all the support and helps us. So appreciate it, everybody.
Absolutely. Well, Jeremy.
Doug, I'm sorry, I forgot you. Doug Schultz.
Oh, Doug Schultz. I think I heard of him before too. But Jeremy, we'll get you on the road.
Yeah,
I appreciate you taking your time and talking with me here.
Definitely.
Obviously we've had a lot of conversations over the years, but now we're official.
Yeah.
So
there you go.
But thank you for watching this. Make sure you follow Jeremy on all the Londerville platforms, whether it's the Londerville Steel, 4130 Motorsports, Jayden. You're not yourself on social media.
No.
You're just behind a lot of different names.
Yes.
So don't try looking for Jereme Londerville because he's not actually there. But follow all the brands that he's associated with, because you might learn something. You might have some sort of contest to enter. You never know what's going to happen. We got a lot of broken JJ parts that just kind of lay around. But stay tuned for more, and we'll have a lot more Four Wheel Frenzy content coming up soon.